Our official sponsor, Greenwood Stock Trading. If you want to learn how to make some passive income, some extra money, so you can invest in your future and your kids' future, give them a call for a free 10-minute consultation, 281-760-3170. Go get to the bag. All right, man, let's talk about Sebastian Fundora getting knocked out by Brian Mendoza. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. Here we go live or drop a video. Now, most people like me thought this was gonna be a cakewalk. I woke up and I seen that Fundora got knocked out. I thought I read it wrong, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. In that knockout to him, real quick. And what actually happened was, Mendoza was setting something up the whole night. That's exactly what happened. Mendoza was setting something up the whole night. Mendoza was setting up them overhands, and you seen sometime he lead it off with him, but in that knockout, he feinted like he was going to the body, got his head off to the line like he was throwing that right to the body. Fundora bit, left Fundora open. He just rolled back with the left hook, and that was it. That was it. And it was a beautiful. He set that up beautifully. That's why you throw them. That's why you throw them right. That's why you throw them right hands to the body versus the southpaw. He threw him. He threw him to the body. He threw him to the body, and he would lean, throw him to get his head off the line. Fundora started making an adjustment. Excuse me. He started making an adjustment, and he started throwing uppercuts and kind of close the distance. And where Mendoza succeeded at, and Lubin failed at, Mendoza would hold him on the inside. So that kind of wore Fundora down, kind of stopped the onslaught, and didn't get as many uppercuts in. He did. And early on, they was trying to make it seem like Fundora was blowing Mendoza out. I didn't really see it that way. To me, it was competitive. Early on, it was competitive. I think around the fifth round is when Fundora started to kind of pull away, close the gap. A lot of holding came into place then. That's kind of what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my opinion on it. A lot of holding came into place there, and he started to close the gap and kind of get some more uppercuts in there. But Mendoza, you know what I'm saying, was just setting that body attack up to bring them hands down. And that body attack, he was doing some good body work there. He was throwing some good hooks to the body, and that was wearing down Fundora. That's how you break down a bigger man. Like you fight Tyson Fury, that's how you would break them down like that. You don't have to be like a whole bunch of shoe shining or whatever. He just touching them, touching them, touching them, touching them, touching them, touching them. And that's why Fundora had to close that gap. And Fundora had to start dropping his hands and defend against that body attack. And Mendoza, you know what I'm saying? All Mendoza did was finally set it up. Sometimes he would jump in with the overhand left and right and kind of just miss or graze Fundora, But now he had Fundora closing the gap. So now he went just like this. If you notice, he went to his right hand like he about to throw the right. He went right and then came right back over the top with the left hook. That's exactly what he did. Notice his body movement went back. He about to throw another right hand. And, Ismail Salas, one of the best in the game, his coach. He went like this. Then he came back. It was sweet. He snapped that left hook. And the left Fundora was over the top. He was open. He was open all night. He was just falling a little bit short because he needed Fundora. He needed to bait Fundora in. Because when he was throwing he would jump in. He would, push Fundora back and throw the overhand left and right. They were just missing graze him. But I felt early on the commentators were being super duper biased towards Sebastian Fundora. I thought Mendoza was winning some of them early rounds before I think the fifth round. I think it could have been around even, especially round one. I think Fundora took round two. I think round three, Mendoza possibly took it just because Fundora coming closing the gap. I think what Mendoza was doing was more effective, the body work. And I know Mendoza's nose was busted. That don't mean nothing. Mendoza was doing beautiful work to the body, breaking down Fundora, and just touch them here and there, and you seen the effects of it. And I heard Fundora getting knocked out in the gym before the Lubin fight. I just wasn't gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and the dude that knocked him out is a contender for a title, non-American. So you hear the stories. Um, what he could have done better. Just he's closed the gap. That's just who he is as a fighter. He came out boxing well and stand behind the jab, and you know what I'm saying. And then I feel like he just got to need better timing on when to close that gap. I think he closed the gap too early. I think you at the fight grounds, you at the one of the venues for one of the most classic, some of the most classic fights you will see in the modern era. It was StubHub, but now it's the Dignity Health Park, whatever, and they could produce some classics. And maybe got caught up in the mystique of trying to get the fans a great fight. They was booing and they was getting restless. But you got to ride the course, and I think he should have just rolled, behind the jab a little bit more, warmed down a little bit, and then broke him down. But he was, I don't think he's that used to somebody uh, getting to him like that. That's what I think. I don't think he used to nobody like being able to get to him like that, because Mendoza was missing them overhand lefts and right, and some of them was just grazing. And Fundora, he was catching Fundora right on that temple. He was catching Fundora right on that temple and just grazing that temple. You know what I'm saying? He was just grazing that temple. And all he had to do was put a little razzle dazzle or a little razzle dazzle in it. And that's why he should use his reach. And he thought he was going in for the kill versus Mendoza. And Mendoza had something left. Mendoza, that's why you put them body works in there, not just to slow the bigger man down, but you put that body work in there. You put that body work in there because, you know, it can set something else up. That's the beauty of the body. Like, yeah, you can throw some things up to the head that can set them up, but what else you gonna set up to the head that's gonna bring somebody hands down naturally? Just imagine, somebody just constantly pecking you to the body, throwing hard shots in and there. Eventually, you're gonna get tired. What's the first thing you do when you get tired? When you're a fighter, you're in a fight, you drop your hands. That's all he needed him to do, was fall in enough. His hands, he didn't have a high guard because he don't think nobody could really get up here. So he baited him in enough, and that feint to the right hand, he got off the line, then came back with the left. And Fundora was tired from that body work. Body work is a lost art, especially for guys who don't have knockout power. You should be breaking your opponents down to the body, because then it slows them down, and it takes the legs away too. When you slow that core down, the core and the legs is where most of everybody pretty much get their power from. So once you start, and then the beauty of it too is, and once you start touching down to the body, it bring the hands down. It's like watching Star Wars, and they shields go down. You hit them enough with enough attacks, and now the Death Star don't have no shields. You could destroy it. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Now you taking their shields down. When you start touching that body, you weakening them. The hands dropping, and now it's opportunities up top, even versus somebody 80 inches with that 6'5". And that's exactly what he did. It would be, I watched it. I said, yeah, he feinted that left, that right hand to that right, straight right to the body. Now, could he had jabbed and set that up? To me, it would have been difficult to jab to the body and feint a jab and come back with a left hook. Now he could have feinted the jab to the body, came back over with the right hook, so that could have been next in his bag. But what he did, and then what he did after that was beautiful. He didn't celebrate. He followed up. He gave him the red beans and rice from Popeyes and the biscuit from Popeyes, make sure he wouldn't get back up. Fundora didn't have the heart to get back up, and it might have been too much energy for somebody 6'5" to get back up off the canvas. He nuked his body, and then he nuked his chin. He didn't want to get up. He might have been out. But it's a lot of energy for him to get back off that canvas being that tall. And there's disadvantages. Everybody see the advantages. He tall or whatever. He should have just kept fighting behind that jab, maintaining that distance. If he had better footwork, he could have bounced in and out, a little bit more. But you notice Mendoza was, early on, Mendoza was using the ring. He was outboxing him. And they said, oh, look at Fundora's jab. It was doing cool, but, this dude was landing power shots and breaking his body down. And Fundora was just missing a lot of those overhands and lefts that Mendoza was throwing. And Mendoza just, broke the body down. Fundora was not disciplined. He closed the gap, and it was a feint the body, overhand left, and that's all she wrote. You gotta respect everybody's power. And Mendoza, he had 16 knockouts out of 24 fights. He lost to Jesus Ramos. It's crazy. He lost to Jesus Ramos, 10-round decision. And the crazy thing about Brian Mendoza is he never went 12 before. He went 10 twice. This was his first 12-rounder. So, Fundora trying to close the gap on him, and that's just who he is. You can't change him unless you get another trainer, get somebody to discipline him. But, he trying to close the gap, right? He trying to close that gap. When you got a fighter who ain't been in 12 rounds before, why not just, take him deep and down him? So it is what it is. That's some, thumbs up. Congratulations, Mendoza, new NRWC champion. No, I won't give him a rematch, but that's just me. I want my title shot. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me everywhere from Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Peace.